Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we have some XRP news, Bitcoin news. We have some more banking news. Of course, that's not good. We have some housing news. We have some BRICS nations news for sure. We have some commodities news. Let's see here. Yeah, we have some housing news. Once again, Janet Yellen is going to have to. When Janet Yellen speaks on housing, speaks on real estate, you know it's not good. It's so crazy, you know. It has to really be bad to be that person that when you speak, you know, everyone knows it's not going to be good, you know. So anyway, I hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday out there. Let's begin right here. Ripple CEO, the one and only Brad Garlinghouse, sides with Ethereum, says ETH and XRP are not securities. You know, I wish that everyone would have stood together a long time ago, but when XRP was going through it, let's just keep it real. When XRP was being attacked by the SEC, a lot of other crypto entities, including Vitalik, chose to also attack XRP and Ripple. You know, all that centralization nonsense. And it's like, I keep saying, you're stronger together. I guess better late than never. But crypto needs to band together, defeat the SEC, stand strong, so that crypto as a whole can have a bright future, you know. But anyway, that's just how I feel about it. It says here, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse throws his weight behind Ethereum as SEC intensifies its probe to determine whether certain ETH transactions qualify as securities. Garlinghouse, they better be ready to fight. Consensus as a prime builder on Ethereum, especially with pushing CBDCs, they're fighting. I respect what they're doing. They're actually attacking the SEC. That's how you do it. But everybody else associated with Ethereum, those prime builders, might want to start putting on your fighting gloves. It says here, Garlinghouse's support comes after MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor characterized ETH as really? He characterized ETH as unregistered securities. Michael Saylor, really? What? Anyway, let's keep going. As reported earlier, Saylor stated that ETH, XRP, Solana, Binance, you can't say that about XRP. Take XRP out of there. So, Mr. Saylor, who are we supposed to listen to? A judge or you? A judge or you? Let's go with the judge. Wait, not just the judge, but all the lawyers that came out and supported what the judge said. XRP has clarity. You have to just accept it. It's over. You lost. You lost that battle. That's over. XRP has clarity. All we're waiting on is Ripple in the institutional aspect. That's it. So let's delete that out of there. You're lying when you talk about XRP. I don't care how you feel about it. You're lying. XRP has clarity. It says here, as reported earlier, Saylor stated that ETH, XRP, Solana, Binance Coin, and Cardano, as decentralized as Cardano is, they're not even, what could you do with Cardano? Didn't Cardano start in Japan or somewhere? It started outside the US. So why is that even in the conversation? I don't understand that. And they did that probably for that reason there, but Cardano was so decentralized. I don't understand how you could put that in the discussion. It just looks like you just want to throw a lot of the big dogs in the discussion and hope that the SEC takes them out. That's what it looks like. The SEC being your attack dogs. A lot of big money people's attack dogs who, you know, they have a certain agenda. It says constitute unregistered securities. And you're a securities expert. You're a securities law expert. Maybe you are. Maybe I just don't know about it. According to Saylor, these assets will never have their spot ETFs. Every pro, and you're not a pro, but all the pros that specialize in this said that there will be other crypto ETFs, but we're supposed to take your, I don't understand. Where does this arrogance come from? I mean, no disrespect. I'm just asking questions since you want to go against the bulk of the top cryptos. Let's go here. Hold on. Bear with me one moment. Let's go to Grok. We're going to go to Grok AI for just one moment, folks, because I need to get this info very quickly. Michael Saylor background. Let's see if Grok can tell me a little bit Michael Saylor's background. Michael Saylor is an American entrepreneur, businessman, and philanthropist. So where does this, you know, expertise in law come from? You know, why do you feel like you can speak on these things? You're not a lawyer. It says he is best known for being the co-founder and CEO of MicroStrategy, a software company nothing to do with law, that provides business intelligence, mobile software, and cloud-based services. Wait, okay, so far, I don't feel like I need to listen to you whatsoever. This is Michael Saylor. Okay, talking about his family growing up. I do my research on people and things as well. You went to MIT. All right, I'm not impressed by that. He then went on to earn a Master of Science degree. All right, well, was he a standout or something like that? I don't see anything stand out in your back. I'm just saying, like, Saylor co-founded MicroStrategy in 1989. All right, you just did some good business. I can respect that. Nothing to have to do with law. Nothing that says you have a standout mind when it comes to these new technologies. In recent years, Saylor has gained significant attention for his advocacy of Bitcoin. And there you have it. That's another thing that's wrong with a lot of so-called Bitcoin maximalists that pray for the downfall of everyone else. They pray for the downfall of crypto. Their word, I can't respect it. I can't. Which is hilarious now that the big companies are taking over Bitcoin. Right? But that's what you wanted. You want all that Bitcoin in your pocket. You want something you can control. You can't control these other things. You know, the people have their hands on this early, whereas Bitcoin, not so much. Some of the people were in early, but not a lot of people were in early with Bitcoin. But you know that these other coins, yeah, people have their hands in it. The regular people, you don't like that. In my humble opinion, this is my humble opinion. But yeah, not going to listen to you. You have no background in it whatsoever. So now, and with that type of negative mind state, there's no way I'm going to think that you have a high intellectual prowess when it comes to a variety of things. Sometimes people just specialize in one thing. Let's not confuse that. You're a good business person, maybe. You're a good business person because I don't know the circumstances or who you had around you when you started MicroStrategy. But that doesn't mean that necessarily makes you the foremost mind or one of the foremost minds when it comes to cryptocurrency technology, cryptographic technology, where things are headed, or that you have a legal background to say what's an unregistered security. Not at all. I mean, how familiar are you with securities law? See, now I don't proclaim to be something that I'm not. That's the difference. I don't. I am what I am. I'm exactly what I present myself to be, but I don't present myself to be something that I'm not. You're speaking like you're a securities lawyer, but you're not. It says here, and let me tell you something. When you have a lot of money, whoever's on your payroll, when you ask them a question, it's very difficult not to get an answer that you don't want to hear. They want to please you. They want to stay on your payroll. They're more than likely going to become a yes man or yes woman and tell you what you want to hear. So, you need to find some people that are actually going to tell you the truth. Stop surrounding yourself with yes men lawyers and yes men advisors that just want your money. And that's the danger of having a lot of capital. People they start treating you differently. This is why a lot of people that have a lot of capital, some of them, not all of them, they try to dress normal, drive regular cars so that when they go out in society, they can actually experience regular life and get regular reactions from people. They don't, and not shine materialistically where people are going to treat you a certain way just because you have money. So now everybody wants to say yes. They want to agree with you all the time. That's fake. Mr. Saylor, stop surrounding yourself with fake people. But anyway, that's just my humble opinion. You don't have to take it, of course. I mean, let's see how that bad energy works out for you. It never works out, I'm telling you. You want to rip something else down. You dig a hole for yourself. There's an old saying, you dig a hole for someone else, you better dig another hole for yourself. Yeah, let's see how that works out for you. All right. So anyway, that's, we're not going to go beyond that. I think that's a lot of nonsense there. I'm rooting for all of crypto, Bitcoin, ETH, XR. I have no ETH. I've used ETH. And sometimes I have to use ETH for other assets that I'm very much interested in to move those around. But I don't have any ETH whatsoever. But I'm rooting for ETH, Solana, Cardano. I don't have any Cardano. I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for crypto overall. I want crypto to win overall. There's a few dynamics in there. Sure, I want to make a lot of money, but I also want to see the right things happen. And not let corruption win. There's also that dynamic as well. So anyway, now hope you're all doing fantastic out there. Don't worry, I got a little bit of food news for you a little bit later because I got some recommendations for you. It's going to blow your taste buds right off your tongue, right out of your mouth. I'm telling you right now, I got some good recommendations. Watch that chapter later. This article here is titled Bitcoin on track to explode by over 1,500%, according to on-chain analyst, the great Willy Woo. I'm putting the great on. See, when I like people, I give them nice little titles. A legendary, the great Willy Woo, because I like what this individual has to say. And I agree that I hope that this happens. I agree Bitcoin is on a very bullish trajectory, in my humble opinion, over the long term. And I'm trying to make a lot of money with Bitcoin. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm here to make some money. On-chain analyst Willy Woo believes Bitcoin is on track to increase by over 1,500% based on one main driver. Let me pause right there. And that's another thing about Bitcoin. Listen, I'll tell you what, I worked really, really, really hard to accumulate respectable Bitcoin for myself. I'm talking about I sacrificed a lot, put in a lot of work, right? So I think I'm in the same boat with a lot of people. But because of that, and doing all the research into Bitcoin over the years, I see that everybody can win. Bitcoin can win. Altcoins can win. There's no reason for any Bitcoin maximalist to rip down other coins. There's not. Matter of fact, I would think it's wise for a Bitcoin maximalist to go diversify, make money elsewhere as well. You know, Bitcoin is going to win no matter what. Nothing can stop it. Nothing. It's just like XRP. I don't feel like, aside from the SEC case holding things back, I don't really see a whole lot that could stop it, unless it's just the companies not doing their jobs that are going to be using XRP and XRPL, just as an example. But Bitcoin, there's nothing that can stop its upward trajectory, as you've seen. And it's inching towards mass adoption. You got the big companies stepping in. So I don't know why they continue. It's just, I guess some entities are just pessimistic like that. They're just negative, but I don't support that. It says here, according to Woo, there is a historic correlation between Bitcoin's value and the number of Bitcoin users, which he expects to continue to increase based on his growth curve model. Quote, on track for $1 million per BTC as fair value by 2035. Ooh, super duper bullish. That's if we take the user growth curve as a guide for valuation. Remember, I said fair value, not peak value in bull market hype. It says, in the early days, price was slow to catch up to user count. Bitcoin didn't even have a price until the 1,000th user came in. Thanks to the blockchain, we have a high resolution view of users using forensic clustering of addresses into entities. Price discovery started with the early markets like New Liberty Standard and Mt. Gox. By August 2011, Bitstamp launched, and we had multiple global exchanges to properly price the asset. After 2012, price pretty much oscillated in around the increasing user count. Now, this person here, this Willy Woo, is thorough, very thorough. You sure you're not a researcher, Mr. Woo? Woo believes that Bitcoin is still early on in adoption. I agree with that as well. Comparing the asset to the internet's adoption rate, quote, Bitcoin is at 4.7% world adoption. This is the same as January 1999 for internet adoption. You are still early. That I agree with also. We're in a nascent phase. I've been saying that for about 2 years, right? And that's backed by the best data available. He has some nice charts here as well. Bitcoin is trading for $61,581 at the time of this writing. I don't know what it is right now. I have no idea. I did not check the charts at all today. I'll do that a little bit later. All right. So now let's move on. We have another Bitcoin article. All right. So while I'm waiting for this to load up and give you a little bit of food recommendations. Now, first of all, how many of you out there have ever eaten an eggplant Parmesan sandwich? All right. So a couple of you, few of you. Okay. So eggplant, not veal, because I know I've tried, Mick. I've had the veal Parmesan. I've had the beef Parmesan. Eggplant. Try. This is not advice. It's not advice, right? But if you ever try the eggplant Parmesan from a quality Italian restaurant, make sure it's quality. Look at the reviews. All right, go to Yelp. Go to what's the Google? What's that Google? Like, you can look at Google Maps has reviews also, right? Look at that. Get yourself a nice quality Italian restaurant, veal Parmesan. Now, wait. When you get it home, don't just let the restaurant do all the activity. They deliver that sandwich to you. Bring that sandwich right on home. Wait, bring that sandwich home. Or inside, right? They delivered it. Bring it inside. Open that thing up. Now, take a little bit. Take some of that ground up garlic. Sprinkle a little bit of that garlic on it. A little bit of that garlic on there, right? Now, I know this is going to sound crazy. I'm telling you, but it's going to sound crazy. You take a little bit of that paprika. Just a little bit. You sprinkle a little bit of that on. Just a little bit of paprika. Don't you go crazy. I know. No, you stop it. No, you stop it. I know. I heard you thinking. I'm going to go crazy with the paprika. Don't do that. You don't want to ruin this sandwich. We're making a masterpiece right now. All right. So you got a little bit of that paprika on there. So then we're going to a little pepper. We want a little bit of that spiciness. I know this is different. You're not used to this. This is next level. You get a little bit of that black pepper, regular black pepper. You sprinkle just a little bit of that black pepper on there. All right. Now we're going to close that sandwich up. That's not it. We're going to close that sandwich up. Guess what? We're going to get a dip. Yes, I'm going to give you 2 different dips that's going to blow your taste buds away. You're not ready for this kind of flavor. You weren't born ready, but I'm building you up. I believe in you. Yeah, I believe in you. Now we got 2 different dips. Now you can either use the balsamic vinaigrette, the balsamic dressing, whichever one. I don't care what the name of it is. Get the balsamic. Now you can take that sandwich and dip it in that balsamic, and oh my goodness, oh man, you made me want to cut the camera off right now. Go get me eggplant parmesan right now. But wait, so you got one dip is the balsamic. Put that to the side. Tremendously good. But if you want something more normal, that's still going to make that sandwich pop, explode. You see the shoulders, when the shoulders bounce, you know I'm serious business. Explode. You get yourself a nice sweet, get the sweet one, a nice sweet honey mustard. Like what companies make good honey mustard that's respectable that you can get from a store? Like maybe Sweet Baby Ray's. You get some of that Sweet Baby Ray's, you put that in that cup and you dip the sandwich. Don't dip too much. You don't want too much. I know some of you extreme out there. Just a little bit. You dip that in there. You take a bite of that sandwich. Woo! Man, so good. I don't even know what else to say after that. I'm just flabbergasted right now. Just think about that sweet, sweet sandwich. But anyway, wait, which channel is this again? Which channel is this again? It's definitely not the AI channel. That's for sure, which I'm going to get back to that in a minute. So anyway, so now that we gotten through that, let's talk a little bit about this Bitcoin article that finally loaded up. That was nice, wasn't it? All right, so here, Bitcoin's prices hiked to $64,000. Whales had this role to play. It says this: after Bitcoin fell below the $60,000 level, panic was the norm across the market. I didn't panic. Who was panicking? Who? I think a lot of, listen, let's just be straight shooters here. A lot of people fake panic. They spread FUD because they want to bring that price down. They have a reason to want to bring those prices down, but they're not really in fear, right? Come on. It's a game, folks. This is part of the game. You can make money going up and money going down in a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways to do that. So I don't think most people were in fear, but some people will try to spread it, and they spread it by pretending that they're in fear. Oh my goodness, sell everything. There's a reason for that. It's a part of the game. Let them play the game, but that doesn't mean you have to believe their performance. I'm just saying. It says, however, as expected, the cryptocurrency's whales saw this dip as an opportunity to buy Bitcoin at a discount. One reason, right? It says, and they did. Of course, I told you that was going to happen. It happens. This is a rinse and repeat thing. It's always going to happen. Whales get an appetite for Bitcoin. According to recent data, Bitcoin whales accumulated 47,000 Bitcoin in just 24 hours. Whale accumulation on a large scale usually tends to have a positive effect on the price of any cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was no different. With the crypto king hiking by 6.36%, over the aforementioned period. At the time of writing, it was trading close to $64,200 on the charts. All right, so now we're getting to a little bit of this bank news here. It's always outrageous. Every single day what's coming out about these banks, really exposing the banker mentality and the inner workings of banks and a lot of the corruption. It's just sad. But don't worry, banks, we're going to save you. We're going to save you. You're going to hand over that money because you're going to have to congeal with us. Don't worry. You won't even know you're using the new financial system. You won't even know it. Just like you drive your car and you don't know half the parts that are underneath the hood of the car that are in the engine. Just drive the car. That's all you'll need to do. But don't worry. We're already working on the systems. A lot of you have already had infrastructures built. We just need to get past this case. And then we're all going to, in my humble opinion, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not personal, banks. It's not personal. All right. I'm just speaking for myself. But we'll probably make a lot of money off of you. So don't worry. We're going to help you out there. But one thing we can't cure is your corruption. So this article is titled, wait. Let me rearrange this. I have two bank articles, but I want to get to the second one first. Bear with me one moment. Do I have three bank articles? Where's the other one? Bear with me one moment, folks. There it is. I have three bank articles and I confused two of them. But this one here, if I can move it, here it is. This one is titled, I don't know why it looks like this, the presentation of it. This article is titled, "The CEO Who Hired His Wife Gave His Dog a Title." What? And brought down a bank. This is none other than Vernon Hill, the builder of Commerce Bank and Metro Bank, and was also behind toppled First Republic. This individual did everything wrong. And you know, what's funny is they're highlighting Vernon Hill. Vernon Hill isn't the only one in the banking industry that does things like this. We've read other articles about people creating fake positions. Remember that? We read a couple of the articles like that at the beginning of the year with a lot of these bank CEOs creating fake positions, right? That don't actually exist. I forgot the purpose of it, but nonetheless, you're not supposed to do things like that. So let's go here. Let's find out about Vernon Hill. So what I'm going to do is let's go here because the article just glosses over things very vaguely. It says Vernon Hill's tenure at both Metro Bank and in the UK and Republic First Bank in Philadelphia was marked by a series of controversial decisions and strategies that ultimately contributed to significant financial difficulties for both institutions. His approach to banking, while innovative in certain aspects, led to a series of events that culminated in the downfall of his banking ventures. This is accounting errors. Hill stepped down as Metro Bank's chairman in 2019 following a major accounting error. This error led to customers. Really? You sure it was how deep was this investigation? You sure it was an error? Because we've been reading about CEOs and executives who've been, this is what the articles say, that allegedly have been stealing millions of dollars from their clients. And we've read multiple articles about this. I'm just saying. So was it an accounting error? This error led to customers withdrawing 2 billion euro in deposits over a 6-month period, severely impacting the bank's financial stability. Metro Bank faced difficulties in raising capital due to its weak profitability and high costs, branch-centric business model. Once again, another reason we will win, because we increase profitability. We increase the reach of any business that associates with the new financial system. You become global instantly. You can move money instantly. You're saving massive amounts of capital. I'm telling you, when the time is right, when we are unleashed and when XRP is unleashed, just know that I feel like, well, I won't say just know. I feel like XLM is unleashed, Algorand is unleashed, and I feel like they will go on an amazing run. But once again, that's up to the companies to actually come through on deploying the technologies or helping the financial institutions integrate with the technologies. And that's going to take hard work. Do I think that those companies are capable of it? Yes, but they have to actuate on that first. Get what I'm saying? It says here, despite the potential benefits of higher interest rates, the bank reported losses despite. It's like, see, this is when you know someone's doing something all wrong. There's a huge catalyst for a benefit that should make benefiting from that time period and the activities of that time period easy, but they're still losing. That's when you know something's going wrong. The bank reported losses over the 18 months since the beginning of 2022, with its cost income ratio hitting 104%. See, and this is the problem. When you get individuals like this in a leadership position, it's hard to get them out. But they should be gotten out, but they're never gotten rid of, even though they're destroying everything in their path. Now, it makes it easy to understand why we have all the top agencies or entities like IMF, the Fed, talking about what was considered. Oh, and let me not forget the ECB also talking about what was considered loose monetary policy. Here's the problem with loose monetary policy, and it's really just been a cowboy era of banking for the last, I'll say last decade, maybe a little bit more than the last decade, but I'll take the last decade. It's been a cowboy era where they're just doing whatever they want and just they're being completely wild. Here's the problem with that. If you read a lot of the verbiage coming out of the Fed the last 2 months, and some of the critics of the Fed as well, you'll see that really loose monetary policy, the mind state of loose monetary policy has not changed. It hasn't changed. And as a matter of fact, if you remember when they closed down that bailout system, that's exactly what it was. They just closed it down about a month ago. I believe about a month ago. And how some of the banks they didn't actually need to utilize that system, but the banks themselves, it was in the articles. I showed the articles. All right. So people have it. They were saying, well, we just couldn't turn it down. You just couldn't turn it down. And see, that type of, can I say buffering, that type of, cheating the system, so to speak, where now it looks like you're doing well, but you're not actually doing well. That's one of the biggest problems that the banks are facing right now. They're not actually doing well. And if you didn't see that video the other day, I believe I put it out in that video. There was an article that we covered about, or was it in the members only section? Let me not say that just in case I put it in the members only section, not the video, but the article. But moving on, it says insolvency and sale. Hill was ousted from First Republic First Bank by shareholders in 2022. Good job, but it was too little too late. This has to happen before you collapse. The new leaders of the bank struggled to raise the necessary capital to address the financial issues left by Hill's strategy. That's exactly why I said it's too late. This is what's going to happen to a lot of banks in the future. They're going to act too late. It's already too late. And they're not going to be able to have the necessary, things to fix the situation. It says resulting in the bank being deemed insolvent and sold to Fulton Financial. So my word, these are the people that are leading the industry that people consider safe, that they're trusting their money with. Like I said, don't worry, banking industry. We're going to help you. We're going to help you. If you're smart, if you're wise, we get past this case. Everybody will benefit. Just my humble opinion. But will I ever concede that the banking industry is better than the crypto industry or money market funds or commodities? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. And I will never 100% support trusting others with being responsible for securing my future, and capital is connected to your future, than trusting them over myself. Never. I say you always should trust yourself more than you trust others, in my humble opinion, when it comes to your life and your life path. I'm all for people leading themselves, governing themselves, regulating themselves, earning for themselves, being the boss of themselves, and not having someone else doing that for them or to them. That's where I stand. So there you have it with that. Man, crazy times with banking news. The CEO who hired his wife gave his dog a title. Oh, yeah, and we didn't even get into the hiring of the wife and the nepotism. Is that considered nepotism? I'm not sure. But we didn't even get into that aspect of wow. But maybe we'll cover that another time. All right, so let's move on here now. Let's see. So we have another banking article about banks trying to skirt capital rules. Once again, I'm telling you, the banking industry is in big trouble. Capital rules prompt new demeanor toward less regulated rivals. Banks are partnering with private lenders on consumer loans. So what they're trying to do, if I get this correct, I believe what's happening is they're collecting like interest or yield off of the loans, but they sell them to another institution, another financial institution. And I think it's a lot of shadow banks, really. Shadow banks, non-banking financial institutions. I think that's what's going on. And so the banks themselves are earning yield or earning capital, let's just say capital off of the loans, but they don't actually have to hold that on their balance sheet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm remembering off the top of my head, but let's click on this article here and just read a little bit about what the pros have to say about this. So it says banks sell loans to private credit in balance sheet twist. For years, Barclays PLC struggled with what to do about its U.S. credit card business. It was a cash generator, cranking out a steady stream of revenue, and yet it was costly to run because of the way regulators force banks to set aside capital as a buffer against losses, which is what it should be. You should always have that liquidity pool there, which means, once again, folks, they don't have liquidity pools like they would need, that extra capital, which we bring to the table as the new financial system. That's why I say, like, long term, and this is not financial advice, once again, it's my humble opinion. Long term, the bank coins are super bullish, especially with on-demand liquidity, instant liquidity pools of all kinds that could be raised much bigger than ever before, more easily than ever before. We're in the driver's seat as far as I'm concerned. Until I see something different, I'm going to feel that way. The British lender came up with a solution in February, selling $1.1 billion of card assets to private equity firm Blackstone. It's the first time in a long time we're hearing about Blackstone. The transaction, part of an ongoing financing arrangement, allows Barclays to collect fees. Okay, so that's what it is. To collect fees for servicing the loans, but not to have to hold them on his books. That's what I was saying before. In return, Blackstone gets to generate high yields for insurance clients. In essence, Barclays is renting Blackstone's balance sheet. Quote, banks value the customers and the origination fees. We just want the assets. Blackstone Credit and Insurance Global Chief Investment Officer Michael Zawadzki said in an interview. The Barclays Blackstone deal got a little attention at the time, but may have marked a new chapter in the evolution of the lending industry since the global financial crisis, as capital rules have gotten tougher. So they don't want to obey the capital rules. My word. These are the ones that are so compliant. Crypto's not compliant, but banks are compliant. But they're the ones that are always trying to find a way around the system. Hypocrisy, you see? All right. Listen, all of this is coming back to bite them. It's going to come back to bite them. So anyway, it says here, as capital rules have gotten tougher, banks have had to exit certain businesses or else cede market share to non-bank rivals. I told you they've been losing. Look at this. They're telling you, the pros are telling you right here. Now they are partnering with those rivals. We're going to win. We're going to win. It's my humble opinion. We're going to take a lot from them. They can't win. That's why they're partnering with everyone who's non-banking financial entities, fintechs. They're looking for any way to survive. Banks are in survival mode. People don't get that because the mainstream media is convincing everyone the banks are still in the driver's seat, but they're not in the driver's seat. Can they still survive? Yes. Can they still do well? Yes. Are they going to go to zero? No. Are they all going to go away? No. But what they will be in the future, as far as congealing with new systems, the banking industry, as you know it today, will cease to exist. Yes, as you know it, but it will become something new because it will be congealed with all of these new companies. All of these new partnerships will transform how they do business. It's already happening right now. So it's just a matter of time. Tick tock, tick tock. Now, these are more traditional. Obviously, Blackstone is more traditional business. So they're in the door already. Whereas crypto and, crypto fintechs are still battling in court. We're trying to get positioning. We're trying to get clarity. But once we do, we're in the door and we will run wild. They need us more than they need Blackstone. No disrespect to Blackstone. It says now they are partnering with those rivals in ways that benefit both parties, even if it is unclear how regulators might react. Yeah, because regulators, and they're going to do what? They haven't done anything yet. They'll run their mouths and leave more loopholes open because they're lazy. Regulators are lazy. And Blackstone and Barclays and companies like that will find ways to defeat the regulators again. It's always the way that it goes. So anyway, I just want to put that on your table. So now let's move on here. We have 5 more articles. Let's just choose the 2 most important ones, and then we'll close out with those. We have some commodities. We probably should do gold. I haven't done gold in a few videos. I have a housing article and I have a U.S. Treasuries article. Which one should we do, folks? Which one do you think? Treasuries or housing? Which one is more interesting to you? Let's go here with Janet Yellen. We haven't heard from Janet Yellen in a while. And I'm going to tell you what, even though I disagree with everything Janet Yellen says, Janet Yellen makes for good content. You never know what she's going to say. So let's go with that. So this article here is titled, Janet Yellen says it's almost impossible. Oh, we made the right choice with this article. Oh, yes. Janet Yellen says it's almost impossible for first-time home buyers to enter the housing market. Go ahead, Janet. You tell them, because I've been saying it for a long time. And a lot of people disagree with me, even though I've been showing proof. I've even been showing how it's hard for I'm going to say a lot of younger people right now, because they're just getting into everything. They're just starting to live on their own to afford apartments. And people disagree with me on that. And I'm like, hey, look at this article. Look at this article. Look at this video. Listen, if you go on TikTok, you see all these young people talking about how they can't get apartments. They can't buy homes, but they would like to. And so they're living in their cars. They're living in their vans. This is not something that's made up. This is something that's occurring. I wish it was different, but that's how it's going. Now you have Janet Yellen telling you. But this article begins here. It says, mortgage rates have been so low for so long that it's created a lock-in effect where people don't want to sell their homes to buy new ones for fear of losing their attractive rates. Yeah, of course. That's made it, quote, almost impossible, unquote, for first-time buyers to enter the housing market. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said during the testimony for the House Ways and Means Committee, quote, with house prices having gone up and now with much higher interest and mortgage rates, it's almost impossible for first-time buyers, unquote, Yellen said. It says the first proposed tax credit, I guess they have some tax credit thing going on, a pair of tax credits to help solve the housing crisis. All right. So the first proposed tax credit would provide $10,000 to first-time home buyers. A separate $10,000 tax credit is proposed for homeowners who sell their, quote, starter home, unquote, to move into a bigger house. I don't know. What kind of economy do they think we're in right now? What? Starter. Wait. Okay. So now with starter home, I don't proclaim to know everything. Starter home, is that a particular type of home or is just the home that you started with? Like, is that, you get what I'm saying? Is there a distinction there? Like, is that a certain classification of a certain size house or something like that? Or is it just, that's the first home that you're buying? That's the first home that you're starting with. Is that what it is? I don't know. But I'm going to say this. Some people bought pretty good houses to start out with. What do you mean upgrade to a bigger house? Like, I'm just saying, folks, like, get a pretty nice house, a nice area, pretty sizable. What do you mean? $10,000? Do you know how much people are paying? The average for homes is what? 300. What did they say in that video yesterday, in that article yesterday? $383,000 is somewhere around there is the average price for homes, depending on the area. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you go to a lot of areas, these homes are $600,000. $600,000, $500,000 on the low end, $500,000. And in my humble opinion, I don't think a lot of those are worth it just looking at the areas. Like, don't get me wrong, nice area, stuff like that. But let me say this, if you're getting too much traffic, if your area is transforming, then those prices need to come down. If you're getting too much traffic through that area, it's not a whole lot of peace and quiet. You got all of these transplants now. They're walking their dogs around and stuff like that. The noise has increased. Then how are you keeping it? How's that price still going up? I don't understand that. Then on top of that, if you don't have a big gap between houses and such like that, I don't think that price should be up there. $500,000, $600,000. Just my humble opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. I know real estate agents want to get their money. Get your money. But I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why these things are not selling. Affordability of living is terrible. Wage growth has slowed down. They're starting to chop people's pay. They're starting to lay people off. And then as they're laying people off, I'm telling you the facts. Look this up. question everything I say and look it up for yourself. All right. But I'm here to bring you the truth. I don't have time to waste. I'm not going to bring you something that's untrue. I may make mistakes. I'm capable of it, but I'm going to try not to. But I'm not going to bring you something that's not true. That's just how like I said, I don't play around with my life and the time I spend on this planet, but whatever. Now, wage growth slowed to a crawl. They're starting to lay people off. And as they're hiring the new people who probably been laid off from somewhere else, also, they're bringing them in. They're paying them almost this is what I've heard reported. They're paying them half of what they used to pay the other people. So wage growth is going down as everything else is going up. So how are they going to afford this? No, and let me tell you something right now. I will say I've seen some older people sell their houses. I was very much saddened by that. Very much saddened by that. As if your neighbors, let's say, and you got a very good neighbor who they're quiet, they don't cause any problems, polite. You don't want to lose them. I don't know where they're moving to. I don't know, but I'll say I've seen a few of them sell their homes. But I will also say that those homes that, they left, they've been up for sale for quite some time. I don't see people rushing in to purchase these things. Like I said, the prices are extremely high. So anyway, you're going to have a problem moving that property. In my humble opinion, it says in 550 American cities, median home prices have reached $1 million. $1 million. Wait a minute. In 550 American cities, median home prices. Yeah. Okay. That's in the city areas. Like I said, I'm taking what I know. I'm saying a lot without saying a lot, but sure. Yeah. In the suburbs, a few houses are millions. Like I said, I think the average prices are around from 600,000 up to 800,000. 600,000 up to 800,000. And then you got a few $1 million homes or close to $1 million homes sprinkled here and there. That's the best I could tell you from my experience, from what I've seen. All right. Who the heck is paying $1 million in a city? I mean, unless you work there, no way. No, I'm just different. I'm different. $1 million to live in a city? Never. But that's just me. I'm different. You already said that, Alphanine. Part of the problem is that investors have been snapping up America's affordable housing. Remember, I told you. I was saying that. It doesn't. I was saying it doesn't pay to have all of the big companies. I love when I get something right. I just feel so good. I do. I'm just saying. But it doesn't pay to have all the big companies buying up all the single family homes. Then what are they doing with that? They're buying up the single family homes. First of all, they're jacking up the prices. Just what I've seen. If you've seen something different, hey, they're jacking up the prices. And then they're saying, buying all the single family homes, jacking up the prices, and then they can't sell them. They just sit there vacant because the people can't afford these high rent prices. They turn them into rentals. That's what I wanted to say. They're turning them into rentals. Then they just sit there. Check this. You see these videos everywhere where you have these people. I don't know who they are. They go there and they investigate homes. Yeah, I watch that. Yeah, I do watch that sometimes. I just scrolling on when I have time at night and the day is over, I'm finished work and I scroll a little bit. I watch that stuff. I know it's so boring to you, but it's interesting to me. But anyway, they're just sitting there vacant because some of the rent prices are as much as a mortgage for renting. Then let me tell you something, no disrespect. Some of these places that they're buying, all these single family homes, first of all, they all look the same. What am I paying for if I were, well, first of all, I wouldn't be buying that. This is my humble opinion. I'm just different. I can't buy something that looks like the same. It's a high price and it looks the same as all the other places on the block, but whatever. But the rent prices are as high as a mortgage. The people can't afford that. That's why they're sitting vacant. I don't know, folks, man. I'm hoping that some moves are made or something changes for the people. I'm telling you right now, it's sad to be an older person and then see the struggles of the younger people. The younger people are supposed to live better than the older people. Like the older people are supposed to pave way and make way for the younger people to live either as good as the older people did or live better, have a better society situation. That's what my father taught me. My father always said this. I'll close out with this. The commodities I have to come next time. I'll close out with this. My father used to teach me a lot of different things. He used to say a lot. My mother as well. But But he used to say this. He says, son, I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be better than me. And he used to say that all the time. I'm telling you, if you ask my brother, he'd tell you that also. Dad used to say that all the time. Don't be like me, be better than me. But it was simple, but it was expansive because it was in all ways, like live better than me, have a better mind than me. If you do something in the world, do it better than I did. If you're going to make the world something, make it better than the world that I experienced. It encompassed all of that. And I just don't think enough people have that mind state, but they should. Make everything better for those to come, not just for yourself as well, but for those to come. If we're not going to do that, what's the purpose of being here on this in this place? I've done all I can say. I've done my best. To not only enlighten myself and make things better for myself, but I've worked hard. I've tried hard to help everybody around me, make the world, wherever I go, I'm trying to make that place better. That's all I can say, and I keep the mind state of memento mori, remember death. So I always think to myself, and you don't have to think this way. I'm just telling you this is part of the way that I think. I think to myself, okay, if I was on my deathbed, am I happy with how my life went? I think about that a lot. And that's what drives me to try to be better every day, just internally and externally as well. But to be better each day, to do good each day, to work hard each day, to where I'm content with what I did. When that moment comes, I can say to myself, I did good. And I can be happy with my time that I spent here on earth. And once again, I say that because so many people close to me, I was there in their last moments, and they definitely made an impact on me. So every single day I take what I do very seriously. I try not to waste any time. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it well. If I'm going to show something, I'm going to show goodness or love, things that that may not be for everyone. I don't know everyone. I don't proclaim to, and I don't proclaim to be some guide for anyone. I just guide myself. But that's how I feel. That's how I operate. That's why I do the things that I do. I want to be content at the end of everything. I came in good, came in strong. That's another thing my father used to teach me. He said, son, if you start something the right way, you end it the right way. But if you start something the wrong way, you'll end it the wrong way. So I started this life the right way I feel, working my tail off. I never had it easy, never. And you know what? I wouldn't have wanted it easy either, because it taught me a lot to have things very, very difficult, very, very difficult. So I feel like I started things right. I want to end it right. Not end it right, but that sounds wrong. Wait, you know what I mean? Reach the end of all of this the right way, and be content in how I lived and what I did. But I'm just hoping, I hope the best for the world. I hope the best for the people. I want to see the people win, the good people, the good people win. I want to see the people rise, because I know they have potential there. But yeah, we're going to close out with that, and I gave all I could, man. I mean, I'm telling you, that's the best I can say without saying too much. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with this. So until next time, everybody, let's get to, I paused on you right there, to the money.